Welcome to the 2016 SEMA Show,
where we're going to find all the latest and greatest Go Fast goodies for you, including this Toyota 86.
Check it out.
I miss you, FRS.
Let's start off with Chris Forsberg's custom 280Z Datsun. This thing looked as good on the outside as it did on the inside. That's not to say the engine bay isn't looking tidy. It, in fact, is an RB25 swap with a host of cool goodies, including this custom billet cut valve cover. The internet's been abuzz about Ryan Turks' 458 swapped FRS. The attention to detail on this swap and build is absolutely amazing. ND Miata owners can expect the supercharger offering from Edelbrock in early 2017. This Pro Touring Mustang checked all the right boxes and has got Dave thinking about painting the Celica the same color. Big power options are coming for the EcoBoost Mustang engine thanks to Full Race and Borg Warner. A rat rod looking Datsun 510 with rotary power and slammed on air suspension, well, that just oozes cool. I don't know my vintage Trans Am cars very well, but this Amc Javelin was one of the coolest at the show. If E30 wagons are a rare sight in the US, then this is a unicorn because it's been converted to full M3 spec, including actually moving the B pillar back to fit an original M3 door. How's that for authenticity? As you know, I'm a sucker for air-cooled Porsches, and this one is at the top of my list, including a set of BBS wheels, carbon fiber, and a nasty 3.6 engine in the rear. This Lambo looks to be packing some serious horsepower thanks to twin turbos, and on the outside it's got a Liberty Walk kit and air suspension, so I'm not sure how it's going to lay down all that power. Dave and I were really digging this Rocket Bunny Boss Kit S14 that's packing some BMW power under the hood. And of course, it's got a right-hand drive conversion that really makes this one a standout. CA Tuned built this absolutely rad BMW 2002 with so many details that I spent way too long drooling over it. Aside from its clean looks, what makes this Ford Maverick special is that it's packing a Ford EcoBoost 4-cylinder turbocharged engine under the hood. Since trucks aren't our thing at Speed Academy, we glanced a lot of them over, but let me tell you, there are a ton of them at the SEMA Show in all shapes and sizes. That's right, someone was crazy enough to mate two LS blocks together to make a V12 engine with ITBs stuffed into this classic Camaro chassis. Executed rocket-bunnied E30 BMW 3 Series. Garage Fishtail Cuda is ready to do some serious drifting thanks to a lot of time and effort put into all the chassis and suspension work. and now have a carbon triple disc offering from Spec Clutch. First look at the all-new Civic Type R, and boy oh boy are we impressed. Racing Revolution lineup of wheels focuses on high-quality track wheels with a price tag that won't hurt the wallet. And they've also got quite a few options for classic vintage cars. Backdated builds are one of my favorites, but I'm just not sure what to think of this rocket-bunnied Cayman. However, this Fiat Abarth 124 Spider was just right. Push their crate engine programs quite heavily, and as you can see, they're a great fit for vintage muscle cars. This wide-body 997 was packing some serious dish in a very racy interior, but its flat-nosed 930 inspired front end was drawing all the attention. Toyo's new R888R tires tout faster and more consistent lap times. Lower offsets and more concave seem to be the theme over at the Koenig booth. It's not all cars and trucks at the SEMA Show. Sometimes you get to see a motorcycle, and this BMW is just perfect. An E92 V8 swap into a wide-body track-ready E46 M3? We'll take it. Dave and I weren't sure that we really liked the body kit on this FRS, but under the hood there was a Sprintex supercharger, which was a thumbs up from us. The Boost Brigade is in full effect with this RB26 swapped 4-door Skyline. One of the more innovative products we saw at the show was this new Greddy boost gauge that's ready to hit the market in 2017. Mishimoto was showcasing a ton of new parts at their booth, but this work of metal art was by far the coolest. Now you can keep track of your in and out air temperature on your intercooler thanks to some new gauges from VLS by Tanabe. Porsche 993 headlights on an RX-7? We like it. No real words can describe how cool this Mazda rotary-powered pickup was. Twin turbos power this Toyota Landcruiser that's rumored to be making between 2,000 and 3,000 horsepower. Let's just say the Prius isn't exactly the hottest looking thing on the market, but this one definitely breaks the mold. Here's yet another Pro Touring build that we were drooling all over. This OS Geiken head is the holy grail for L-Series enthusiasts, and it being mated in a classic GTR chassis is what wet dreams are made of. Voodoo 13 was showing off its R35 GTR front spindle, but what really caught our eye was their hydraulic e-brake that we want to put into our mullet Mustang. Stretched 8 inches and having a 4-rotor rotary under the hood with turbo power and all-wheel drive seems like a far stretch for this build, but we're eager to see it all come together. And the award for one of the best liveries at the show has got to be this RWB Martini build that was actually packing some serious power thanks to the guys over at TurboCraft. Garrett's about to drop their Gen 2 line of turbochargers, which feature increased horsepower over their past counterparts and better surge resistance along with a speed sensor port. One of the most highly anticipated builds coming out of the Honda world is Big Mike's 4th Gen Prelude. No expense was spared on this, and a ton of fabrication work went into the engine bay. It really is the pinnacle of today's Honda builds. As you've probably noticed, the HD clamps from Vibrant are all over engine builds at SEMA, and that's because they offer superior clamping protection and durability over hose couplers. ST suspension spacers are the smart spacers on the market, as they offer a ton of features, so they'll be the last spacer you end up buying. If you're looking to monitor AFR, boost, and flex fuel, then AEM has got you covered. We instantly fell in love with AEM's digital dash, and the fact that it just starts at $12.99 seems like an incredible value. Turbonetics has been hard at work producing a 500 horsepower bolt-on turbo solution for the Ford EcoBoost Mustang. Not many people are crazy enough to go modding their brand new 911 Turbo S, but the guys over at World Motorsport have done just that and created this monster. Trucks were the theme over at the IBOC booth, and they're offering a host of suspension options for the Tacoma, and we're hoping they've got something in store for the Tundra as well. A twin-charged, meaning both super and turbocharged, Subaru WRX at the Rally Sport Direct booth was turning heads all day long. We were excited to see this new gauge offering from Autometer, which has an OBD2 port that monitors all your vital signs rather than you having to install sensors, which means not a lot of wiring and a lot of thumbs up from us. With lug nut offerings in all styles, shapes, and metals, Project Kicks has got you covered. We spent way too much time over at the Mackin booth checking out all the new offerings from Rays for 2017 and figuring out which ones we're going to run on our project cars. And how about this Mazda Miata from RavSpec showing us how it's done on the wide body front, and just check out that red interior, absolute perfection. All carbon, turbocharged, R8, enough said. Known for their rotors, DBA is now getting into the brake pad market with pads available for both street and track use. We're not sure what to say about this RX-7 other than that it's very aggressive. Looks like HKS is trying to make a push back into the US market with some new turbo options and a new SSQV blow-off valve design. The Valvoline booth had Chris Forsberg's 370Z on display, and everything about it is pure badass. That's right, another pro touring twin turbo muscle car that we just can't get enough of. Tell us what you think about this RX-7, because we're just not sold on that Pandem RX-3 Rocket Bunny kit. On the other hand, this RB26 E36 BMW was pure madness. This was definitely one of my favorite cars of the show, a Ford Mustang Fastback that was mounted on a GTR chassis, and it looks oh so right. Another favorite was this long-nosed Datsun with John Player's special livery. And how about this minty fresh E30 S54 Swapped Bmw with, oh look, square headlights. New for 2017, TurboSmart has a new turbo oil pressure regulator, as well as some filters and a completely redesigned fuel pressure regulator. Turn 14 distribution had this ungodly drag car with this massive engine and turbocharger in its booth. Can you guess what it is? Defy's digital dash looks to be a great option for those not looking to wire a whole bunch of sensors into their car, rather relying on OBD or CAN as a way to monitor engine vital signs. This beautiful Holley EFI equipped Ford Mustang had a 5-liter Coyote engine swap that looks right at home in that engine bay. And that's a wrap, but before we go, here's a look at the Ford booth and just some of the very cool cars that were on display.